first order of business will be changes to the published agenda. Any changes down the line here?
None for me.
Minutes of the July 14th Select Board meeting. I have no changes based on the way they were printed. Up to you guys.
I think that whoever took the minutes did an exceptional job of making sure that they properly captured the word "meted."
Yes,
Yes.
and
Thank you very much.
I'm very happy to take one for the team for that, and I will let them go as published.
I missed what you said, Bob. I think I better hear that.
So if you pay close attention to the minutes, you would see that a certain select member said that the wastewater committee meted on
Yeah.
a certain day.
Yeah.
And so that was accurately reflected in the minutes. I was just giving Callista some props for accurately capturing that.
Yep,
And I made sure I didn't take it out when I reviewed it.
Right. Good job.
that's okay. Don't
gotta
you
be-
guys worry
gotta
if
be
you
in a
ever make a
barrel- You
mistake.
gotta be in a barrel once in a
It
while.
will be documented for eternity.
That's right.
All right, can I get a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor? Treasurer's report.
For July, revenue was $40,267.75. Expenditures were $94,829.62. The balance at the end of July was $803,305.93. Delinquent taxes owed to the town is $33,389.85.
I see the 2022s are gone.
Yes, they are.
Great.
They've been paid.
Nice.
Okay. Any big ones in the 33,000?
Yes, and they've been sent certified return receipt letters.
Okay. Any questions?
No,
No? Move that the report be accepted as written.
I'll second.
All those in favor? It's me.
And the only thing I have to add is that the auditing company has been here. They were here the first week of July, I think it was, and they're coming back next week. And they're scheduled to come back a week in September before they finish up, if need be, before they
This
finish
is
up.
for the federal funds.
Yes, it's to get an audit done for the town and the single audit that has to be done by March of next year or something.
Okay.
They're hoping to have things cleaned up and done by the end of the year. We'll see, so far it's going well, so. maybe some-
End of the calendar year.
Yes, this
Yeah.
calendar year, yes.
Okay.
Yep,
That would be good.
yes, it would. And they, things are going all right so far, so.
Okay, good. Action items, highway status. I don't see Glenn.
Probably won't.
Why? Do you know?
Yeah, he said he probably would not be on tonight.
Wonderful. All right, well, the highway crew's been working on 20 Mile Stream, working on a Better Roads grant that we got for that road over there to put in some stone line ditches and a new culvert. The culvert went in today, unless something came up that I don't know about, but that was supposed to go in today. Once we're finished with the grant work over there, we'll be moving to the Jenny Road. We have, I believe it is 8 segments over on Jenny Road that we applied for a grant again for stone lining the ditches or grading the road so it'll sheet off. And that is due to be done by the 30th of September. However, we did get another grant for fiscal year 26 to continue the work on that road, but I have not received any indication yet that they have approved us starting work on that. If it all comes together, we may do both the 25 and 26 grants together and get that road done. We cannot do the 8 segments with just the 25 grants, so that's why the 26 was scheduled for the same road. It'll be stone lining the ditch on what I would call the northeasterly side and sheeting the water as best we can on the southwesterly side, if you're familiar with Jenny Road from Brian Calley's down. What else do I have? I have looked at Kittredge Pasture Road. There's an issue up there with a culvert. I took pictures. I sent them to AOT. I went back up there again yesterday and took another look. And I'm not sure that we're gonna have to do as much work as what we had anticipated, but I'll wait for AOT to weigh in and then we'll go from there. And I don't expect that to happen in the, immediate future. They're so busy anyway. I'm looking for money basically to do the work. It's a $20,000 project for one culvert, and I'm looking for money. And class 4 roads, not much available.
Were the property owners that expressed the concern, did they meet with you yesterday down there?
No.
Okay.
No, they were away. You're talking about David and...
Yeah.
Yeah, they were away and not coming back until sometime last night, or yesterday afternoon. I was there early yesterday morning, took some more pictures and sent them up to AOT today. I don't think that the danger of the road collapsing is near as great as we might have thought it was.
Good.
Based on observations.
Okay,
Good.
All right. Anybody got any questions?
I do, Bob. The bump on Tyson up around,
I hit that the other
Fucker.
night,
Yeah.
going way too fast.
ditto.
I'm going to admit it. I left a message on the phone at the highway garage to have them fill that,
Okay,
hoping they may have done that after they got the culvert replaced, but I haven't heard back from Clem, so I don't know. That was pretty deep.
yeah. And getting deeper, it seems.
Yeah, they do have the asphalt to fill that in with, but they were waiting to pack it down some, and obviously it's gotten packed down some because when I hit it, I thought I was gonna lose my front tires. But anyhow, when it says slow down, maybe I should do that.
Another question.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, you mentioned road signs last time, that there were some that needed to be ordered and we were trying to get our hands on.
I haven't got a list from them yet
Okay,
for what needs to be done. I know
Okay.
they've been doing this grant work and trying to get it done, so I have not got a list from them yet.
Yeah, I have not seen a list
Okay.
either, so I can't.
do they
comment.
know that they have to put together a list? You
Yes.
think he does, okay, good.
He does, yes.
Good.
I think it's on his list.
A quick question on the repair work that they apparently finished on Bales Mills. Are they gonna, is there gonna be a guardrail put off the end of that, or is that's it the way it is?
That's basically it. If we deem that we think we should extend the guardrail, that's on us. EWP will not pay for guardrail work, so we put back up what was there, put a new post in. It looks worse than it used to because the foliage is gone, if you will.
Yeah.
But if we decide we want additional guardrails, that'll come out of have to be our project, because EWP doesn't pay for that. And in line with that, the EWP work is done as far as Gurney Brothers. And I'm concerned, there was a lady, I don't know her position, but she was here today, Allison Hook, and looked at the sites and thought they looked really good from the state of Vermont. I'm waiting for Bob Thompson to get back to me and the engineer, Roy Schiff, to get back to me on a wrap-up visit.
Okay.
And that will conclude that, I hope.
So briefly, regarding the town garage and possibly updating it or improving or looking at a new garage, I've been spending a little time finding out what the road crew is looking for, but also where we can hopefully get some money for that, and spending some time looking to see if there's some grants available or what else might be available. Also, I reached out to Brian Calley to discuss the possibility of integrating some more solar into that. He was telling me that the town garage takes 30% of the power that the solar array is generating, and with the grants that they've gotten and the heaters that are going to be put in, that we'll be needing more electricity, so that might be an option to kind of offset the garage and have that as a freestanding energy generating building for itself for the town. So we'll see where we get with that, but just wanted to give an update on that.
I see Brian just come in, I think.
Yes.
Don't hide over there, I got a question for you.
Sure.
I'm surprised that the garage takes 30% of the power, seeing as how we're only working 5-day weeks
Yeah.
for the most point. Do you have any idea what's drawing all that power? I assume it's heat in the wintertime, but,
Yeah, so I actually don't know what is drawing the power, but it is all winter consumption. That's the big thing there. And, well, I had mentioned to you that I thought it was roughly 30%. I would want to go back and like make sure what that
Okay.
is. But it is a surprising amount. Like it stands up next to Robinson Hall and everything else in terms of power consumption, so.
yeah, because I do know we don't have any electrical things plugged in during the summer months in the unheated section.
Right.
So
Yes,
it just caught me by surprise.
Usually things like that are like resistance heaters. You just have like baseboard heating or electric heaters of any kind. Those are like the really big power consumers. So
Are you talking 30% monthly or in total for a year?
annually, almost none in the summer, a lot in the winter.
Yeah, because they put
that's-
trucks in and.
I have it. We can look at it if you want. Because I 30% now. Like I'm like, oh, it's a lot. 30 was, I'm sure, what I said to you, and it is a lot.
Well, when you say annually, Brian, then
Yeah.
that changes my thoughts a little bit because we have 2 trucks plugged in 24/7. If they're in the garage, diesel trucks,
Yeah, right, sure. Yeah.
so that would draw probably a lot of juice.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very bimodal. It's like lots in the winter and almost none in the summer.
Okay,
So,
all right, well,
Yeah.
don't spend a lot of time on it, but it did catch me by surprise.
Yeah, no. We will spend some time on it because I wouldn't, this idea that Lisa had, I think we want to make sure that it made financial sense and everything too. So
Okay.
we'll want to work it up just to see.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Sure.
All right, we'll move on to item B, the report from the MVSU Board and Regional Hub Working Group. Gina? Oh, Ann?
You're stuck with me this evening. Sorry, Gina's online. Would you like me to speak into a microphone, or is this a good volume?
I think that's a good one.
Okay.
I want to bring a microphone over to you. How about that?
Greetings all. I'm on the south side, one of your 2 school board representatives for the Mountain View Supervisory Union, also known as MVSU. So greetings all, thank you for having us. In lieu of the time needed to fully update our select board and town residents, Gina and I have a few updates and call to action for Reading residents. Also, due to the time restriction, I'm going to have Gina at one point, Gina, I'll give you the heads up when we're ready, to pull up the website of the supervisory union so that you can find more information that I'm unable to share with you this evening easily on the website. So as many of you probably know, H454, which is Vermont State Education Reform Bill, was passed and is now known as Act 73. At this point, the best thing I've heard it described as is unbaked cake batter. So this is sort of what we're dealing with at the school level, both here in Reading and at the district. The Rural School Community Alliance continues to be a big player in supporting our rural towns to defend our right to protect our rural schools through our votes. In related developments, the MVSU, again the Mountain View Supervisory Union, voted last week to join the Southeast Vermont BOCES. BOCES stands for Board of Cooperative Educational Services. This is a very novel and multi-district cooperative between 8 regions of supervisory unions and school districts. It, of course, at this point includes us, and coming in behind us to join the BOCES will be the Springfield School District, the Two Rivers Supervisory Union, Wyndham Central, Northeast, Northwest, and Southeast Supervisory Union, and Windsor's Southeast Supervisory Union. As the first school board to vote to join a BOCES, Mountain View stands to gain many benefits by joining it, and I'm now going to have Gina pull up the website, and I can show you where the press releases for this is. I have a couple of copies that I'll leave on the table of the press releases that are available now. Select board members have their own copies. There will be an additional press release released later this week, which I'll talk to here shortly. Nicely done, Gina. So this is the landing page. Actually, Gina, will you click on the top left-hand corner where it says Mountain View Supervisory Union? Yeah, brilliant. So this is the landing page for the Supervisory Union. The website is MTN, short for Mountain, mtnviews.org. So this is the landing page. Gina, if you'll hover over the About tab on the top, at the bottom of these options is your press releases. So again, there are several press releases that have already gone out, several in the past week or two, and another one that will be coming out later this week. As far as getting information about joining school board meetings, thank you. So you hover over school boards, click the first option, which is MVSD School Board. At the top, you'll see resources. This is where you'll find all of our minutes, all of our agenda, all of the Zoom recordings. We do have a remote option for those who can't make it in person. And there's also a quick Google Calendar access there as well. And Gina, if you can scroll down, for contacting myself and Gina, you'll see all of the representative emails listed here so that we can get you all the information that is available. Additionally, I'm going to be talking of Seth Wood. Gina, if you could scroll down just a little bit further into the Woodstock representation. Seth Wood is a new member, just joined us, and is going to be sharing a new working group that I'm going to tell you about now. Nicely done back there on the web navigating. So as I've alluded to, the MVSU has a new working group to renew our efforts to rebuild the middle school, high school campus. Its title is the Regional Hub Build Working Group, and as I mentioned, it's chaired by Woodstock Rep Seth Webb. You now know how to access his email for the upcoming information I'm about to share. If anyone needs any reminders as to the need for the rebuild, why it's so imperative, it didn't get passed recently. However, the campus continues to see safety risks and threats. If you're interested in learning more about why this is so necessary, there was an article in the Vermont Digger this past Friday. The author was Corey McDonald, and of course you can reach out to us as well. So reasons behind this fresh effort to rebuild our campus. So as many of you know, we had a preliminary state approval received in February 2024. That is still active. We would like to make good on that support that we received from the state previously. As I mentioned, we have continued risks and dangers that the deteriorating campus is posing to our staff, our students, and anybody who accesses that campus. And then in response to opportunities presented by Act 73, which supports building replacement when current infrastructure threatens the health and safety of students or employees while being inadequate to provide programs required by the state or federal law or regulations. So this working group, the Regional Hub Build Working Group, is going to be a 15-member group. It will act in an advisory capacity to the school board. It's going to include school board members, teacher and student representatives, and representatives from each of the member towns of MVSU. This means that in addition to Gina and I representing Reading in this working group, we can have one additional Reading representative on the working group. Previous calls for this type of engagement have been met with eagerness from our neighbors, which has been amazing, and we're so grateful for that. And I'm hopeful we'll see a similar supportive presence for this. If you are interested in learning more about this role as a member of the working group, again, please email Seth Webb. You know how to find his email, or you can email Gina or myself. Additionally, the working group, for those who may not have the bandwidth or interest in being on the group, but interested in knowing what the group is doing, all of those meetings will also be made public and accessible, both in person and remote. So information sharing and the official call for interested participants in the new Build Working Group will be coming this week in the form of a press release posted on the website where you can find it. There will also be communications over all town listservs and front porch forum. So I'd like to close out our time, and I will take questions in the end if I'm allotted the time. But we wanted to share, Jean and I wanted to share this quote from our school board chair, Carrie Bristow. This quote really landed heavily with us, knowing the workings of the school board, the school supervisory union, and this new build option. We see MVSU's challenges today as an example of what can happen when a failing physical plant is hobbling one of the finest educational programs in the state, I would argue in the country. Continue on the quote. But in the silver lining in the dark cloud is that the MVSU school board with its new working group has an opportunity to help Vermont legislators. Together we can work to iron out Act 73 details that ensure our school facilities are designed to support the high levels of education we are already able to provide.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I do not, other than, have you reached out, or has anybody reached out to you about being a member of the working group?
This is
From-
the first time we're announcing it. So
Okay.
not at this time, but I'm guessing by the time I check my email tonight, I'm hoping that there will be some interest.
Excellent.
And maybe one of the emails will be from you, Bob.
Probably not, as busy as I've been right now.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you recall in the bond vote how Reading weighed in?
Yes, we voted in favor.
And I think 5 out of the 7 towns did vote in favor.
That sounds correct, but I would need to check that, double check that to ensure. But yes, most of the towns voted in favor.
Right, so we may need to focus our lobbying efforts in other towns. Okay.
On our radar.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah.
There were, as I recall, there were going to be 2 other sorts of groups that were going to be forming or operating this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And can you speak to those sort of status? Because one of them particularly would impact them.
Yeah, so at a higher level, so our communications and community engagement work group, is that the correct title, Tina?
Now they're split out, the communications group is separated out.
So there's those 2 groups, the community engagement work group and the communications work group, which is being chaired by Gina. I mentioned the community engagement. There's also the configuration and enrollment working group, the CEWG. And we're just starting to talk about that as well. I think depending on where the chips land, that group will either become more active or less active.
And that was the one that my perception was might be particularly relevant.
Correct.
To Reading. It's a more granular level.
Yes.
Conversation.
Yeah, the configuration and enrollment work group. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Anna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ann. So, anybody want to raise their hand and tell her right now you want to be on the working group? Okay. I'm going to move on to the Recreation Commission.
Yes, so I just wanted to address the board tonight for a couple of reasons. One, to put the word out there that we're planning on having the Fall Festival, second annual Fall Festival, October 4th. And as you may or may not remember from last year, we had music, games, food trucks, and many other things that I'm not thinking of. But we're going to do that again this year. We haven't figured out all the details of what we're going to try to do yet, but there's going to be plenty, including probably a rededication for the Bartley Field, as the work has ceased or very close to that, on that. So one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up was to invite the other town committees, and I'm going to pick on Brian a little bit, but like the Energy Commission and anyone else who wants to set up a table, a booth, information, dispersal, that sort of thing is more than welcome to do that. We're going to have the majority of our events at the school and in the school parking lot, so we still need to address getting insurance for that. We sponsored it last year, we're sponsoring it monetarily again this year. We have the Futures Reading group will help us in the manpower department, as we, with our 5 people, are not enough to man everything we need to do. So, yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I just wanted to find out too, I wanted to get the information out there, so hopefully everybody, I mean, obviously we're gonna be advertising, but word of mouth will start to spread, and anybody that's interested can contact us to join in. As well as, I just need to figure out, we need the insurance for the in-school, so Calista, is that a form I get from you personally and fill out? I can't remember from the last time.
You have to
we
get
did
a
that.
form for the school to fill out.
From the school, okay.
And they have an insurance policy on file for us.
Okay, all right, I couldn't remember how that
It
procedure
just,
worked.
the only thing with the insurance is it has to be only under Reading Rec Commission.
Okay,
The other cannot be named on it, or it will not be covered under the town's insurance.
on
The
the,
Futures Reading Group cannot be named on as being a sponsor or anything, or it's not covered on.
right, yeah, on the application, yeah, okay, yep.
I think Lisa had,
It's filed, yeah, it's been filed for.
Yeah, because, okay, I just want to make sure, because I think in our advertisement last year, it said, if I remember correctly, that the Reading Rec Commission and the Futures Reading invite you, or I don't think it was sponsored, but invite you or
Yeah.
to, so, okay. I just want to make sure that is all set, so, okay, that's all I've got.
Okay, just, go ahead.
Have whoever's organizing, are the other town entities, the Historical Society, Library, et cetera, all joining in again this year?
We're
Fabulous.
hopeful, we have not gotten to the point. of
Jane's shaking her
actually-
head. Jane
Okay,
says yes.
excellent. Yes.
The,
PTO was there for that.
Good.
the Historical Society will be doing something similar as to what they did last year. The museum will be open, we will have a presentation inside the museum for people to go in and take a look at. Won't be the same as last year, but it'll be similar to something along that line. And we will have some crafts available if anybody wants them. We are not doing the crafts fair. The Reading Historical Society is not going to be part of the crafts fair in November, so we're doing it now so that we can devote our time to the vendors that, I mean, we've got a waiting list of vendors to be at the vendor, so we'll open up this area for a couple as well as the upstairs. So we're gonna back out of that. But we'll have it open, it'll be open, I think, from 10 to 3. What are your hours?
11 to 3.
11 to,
3.
okay. So,
Can
that I
just
do know.
raise a little bit of an issue that we're having? Because we got started late, we have probably getting food trucks. We have 1 or 2. But we were thinking to recreate the chicken barbecue on the school grounds, which I wasn't here then, but I understand it was a momentous occasion. So, I'm just putting that out for everybody to hear, that that's probably what we're gonna do. And if you have any ideas or want to volunteer to make potato salad or anything, please, you can contact me. I'm gonna put a list of volunteers and everything that we need on the bulletin board out there, and it'll be in Front Porch Forum too, so my email.
Would that be something? Have you spoken with Gary Benham from the fire department?
Not yet.
Okay.
But who volunteered?
Ross Hedberg spoke to Kurt.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Kurt was gonna speak to Gary.
Yeah, I was more so wondering if he could give you insight as to the scope of what you need to do, not so much trying to engage them in doing it, but.
Well, I think Sarah has some leads on that with Mike Sanderson, who participated when he was
Right,
younger.
so
Nice.
Pete Sanderson, Nate Willard have been part of, and their wives and others of a
Mhm.
circle of people have been part of anchoring this over some number of years, and I think Mike actually may be on the screen there, if he and Ann manage to get on, but it's.
Oh, he's talking.
They're talking.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Go ahead, Ann.
He's hiding, but, so Mike participated for many years. in the background watching him, and he did it mostly with his grandfather and Nathan, but he definitely has kind of insider knowledge on the actual cooking of the chickens. But he, yeah, so we definitely have a bit of background on that, and I'm not totally, we had a little bit of background on how it fit in with the fire department as well, but, so he can be a resource when he's, comes back from taking care of our children.
So, what I understand is that there are a group of people in the community who would be interested in seeing this come back, and we do need to do some organizing on that, but I think starting with figuring out who the volunteers are who might be willing to do the actual, chopping up of cabbage and then, coordinating with the fire department around the equipment and the purchasing and the planning. And we do know there's data that does exist about the volumes and things like that. So, and there does seem to be some enthusiasm from a younger generation of people to bring back this event that seemed to be very much appreciated by the community. And keeping in mind the potential for this a fundraiser for the fire department.
That's wonderful.
Good.
I have one more quick question. So we had signs made up last year that we were intending to reuse. They do have FIR's name on them. Will I be able to use those signs again?
Does it say sponsor?
You're asking me a question I can't
It
answer.
says FIR Rec Commission presents the Fall Festival.
You got an opinion on that as to what insurance will say?
The only thing I can tell you is what he told me at the, when we went to our insurance company, it says I asked, our rec commission is co-sponsoring an event with an outside organization. Would they be covered, would they need their own insurance, or because they would not be covered under the town insurance? Am I correct on that? And you are correct. The coverage would not extend to outside entities, and they would need to secure their own insurance.
But that's not the question. The question is that the Rec Commission at FIR are presenting the Fall Festival. It does not mean that the FIR is sponsoring the Fall Festival.
Yeah, because I mean, insofar as the sponsoring, obviously we put forward the money with our budget, and any proceeds come back to us. So as far as a sponsor, that to my mind would define that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they're a group of volunteers. So I don't know why, I don't think, in my mind, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the signage wouldn't be an issue. It's just more the legality of who's signing what paperwork.
I wouldn't think so either, but we might want to ask a question with the wording that Jane just gave us, and just be sure.
You could just put a piece of white tape over there.
Presenting versus sponsoring is, I'd like to sit here and say, go for it, but it is a dangerous situation, so.
Well, can I just raise the elephant in the room? What makes the Futures Reading an outside organization? I find that hurtful.
Well,
I find it really hurtful, Calista. I'm just gonna say it.
it's not a town-sponsored organization is all that means.
But it's a bunch of residents. But it's a bunch of townspeople who pay their taxes. It's all I'm saying.
Doesn't it have to be a committee, an
It's
official committee
not
to be insured?
a sanctioned committee by the select board.
No, we're a volunteer
What
bank.
makes it-
We don't have a
And
treasury.
that's the only way that it could be covered under the town's insurance.
Does
Is
the
if
town
it was a
insurance,
sanctioned committee by the select board.
does the town insurance cover me if I walk down the street?
If you walk down the street, no, why would the town insurance?
No, I mean, what if I
I
got
don't know.
hurt on the town prop here? Would it cover me as a
For
taxpayer?
the liability we have.
So everybody that's participating are Reading residents
Mm-hmm.
and taxpayers.
Yeah, the ground is, I see it, I think I see it from the point of view that it is the school's property. So we as an entity of the town would be the ones to carry the insurance because we're using it.
Yes.
I get that part.
That's a separate issue from the
Right, the
signage.
advertising part though, I think, I see that as different, but whatever. As insofar as the insurance goes, I completely understand that.
Anything else?
Yeah, I wouldn't think the signage would be an issue. I would not think the signage would be an issue, but
I wouldn't think it'd be
Yeah.
either, but. And hopefully we don't need it.
If you guys wanna see, if you wanna see an example of it, I do have it here.
Yeah, I do too. Perfect, thank you.
How did we do it last year?
I think we,
Just as
we
we're
just,
talking
yeah.
about,
Yeah.
So what would this committee have to do in order to become sanctioned by the town?
We don't want.
Well, basically, they started out as an independent committee, doing their own thing, so to speak, and trying to determine what the future should be, but it was never brought before the select board, it was never deemed a town committee, it was never deemed a town commission. So here we sit.
This is the poster. It says, "The future is Reading and the Reading Recreation Commission present."
Yeah, I don't believe that would disqualify.
right. If somebody got injured, would somebody point to that sign and say, well, you're not covered
Right.
because of that? Yeah.
I'm just trying to save like $150.
Yeah.
No, we understand.
Yeah, we're trying to not spend any more money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Is that what an event insurance would cost?
No, that's.
No, the signs.
You should take that insurance.
You can't get an event insurance if you're not a 501c3.
If you're not,
Right.
you're not a legal entity. It's just a community group. It's
Right.
supposed to be
We can
grassroots.
ask
But
some
there
additional
are-
questions.
But we do have many community groups participating in this, the Historical Society, the PTO, the library,
Paul Art Foundation, Greenhouse.
yeah, are participating, but the leadership, the point is the rec committee, which is what resolves the insurance issue. But it's then a question of how do you name all of the others who are engaged in making it a community-wide event, and being sure that we stay on the legal side of that. And it would seem that the word presents probably is okay for that, or, or if we're creating new materials, we might say joined by, or something to that effect. So it's technical more than anything else.
And you want to make sure insurances, because if anything goes wrong, they'll come back to you and be like, they're involved.
Yeah.
Insurance companies will
Yeah.
cover their behinds.
It would seem to me the way that's worded, that you would be covered because it's saying the Town Fall Festival. I don't know if you should say the Town of Reading, or Reading Fall Festival, excuse me, whether you should say the Town of Reading Fall Festival or not, but that might take care of the whole thing.
Next year.
Okay, anything else?
Well, have we resolved that then? So we're gonna go forward and let them have their sign the way it is? Is that what we're hoping to do? We didn't really have an
I thought
answer.
we left that Callista was going to ask the question.
Based on the based on the signage, yeah, okay.
And maybe just clarifying that the FAR is a volunteer group of residents, right? I mean, that's-
Right, not a formal organization.
Yeah, an outside group, that's
Right.
different than residents, but there are volunteers, so within 8. Thank you.
All right. Got an email relative to a question of whether or not we were going to close the Jenny Road this coming fall or foliage season more directly. And I know last year there was some problems with the neighbors based on the closure because people were thinking their driveway was a back road to the Jenny Road, and they were up there camping out and having picnics on the lawn, and I don't know what else, but it was an unfortunate situation for one of the neighbors, so I'm not sure what our plan should be. I do know it's a plus to some people on Jenny Road, and I'm not sure how the Jenny Farm feels about it with the fact they're trying to sell maple syrup and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, in the past, the Jenny Farms come and asked for this, right? But they haven't asked this year?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything.
The one that asked was Bill Backer. Wanted to know if we were going to do it, and his comment was something to the effect, I would certainly like you to consider it. It's in the select board email.
Okay.
I wasn't aware that the Jenny Farm had ever asked for the closure. I thought it was other residents of the road.
Chase was the
It
one.
started out by one of
really?
the-
Chase was the one who brought it up first.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I guess he did
2
come
years
with
ago.
Bill last year.
Right, 2 years ago. Yep.
Was there an unintended consequence that people were parking along 106 and created a hazard
Big hazard.
wasn't expected?
Right.
Right, that was another situation that was entirely dangerous coming down off the top of the hill. The other side's got a guardrail, so they didn't park on that side, but they did park on the Jenny Road side.
And they were knocking on people's doors and asking to use the bathroom and stuff like that, people walking in.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, but it's unfortunate, but we'll see what the Jennies have to say about it,
And the rallies.
and the rallies.
Right.
Because that was last year, when we voted for that, I thought it was a terrific idea. It certainly creates a big burden for the people that live on that road. But then tangentially, I heard from a lot of other people who live near there that it was a real burden to them. And something that we thought was gonna be a fabulous idea kind of turned out to be a pain for a lot of other people. So it's hard to make that decision based on that.
Right.
One last thing. In the age of social media, now that, everybody knows everything and it's become an attraction, maybe could be some coordinated effort to mitigate the problems for the homeowners, but the town might be helpful in some way with creating parking or some barriers or, so it could exist and it might be attractive for the town. But I understand if I, as a homeowner, I wouldn't want anybody knocking on my door. Right, yeah, it's a tough issue.
It is.
Or enjoying a picnic on your lawn or something,
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
without permission.
Right. And it's
Right.
certainly interesting too, speaking of social media, Jack, there was a lot of posts on social media about the closure and a lot of other people outside of our area commenting on the fact that the town does not have the right to close the road to people that want to come and sightsee. So it did receive negative press as well on that. Not that it,
Just like the one in Woodstock.
just like the one in Woodstock. And not that that should be a determining factor, but it was just kind of interesting to sit back and read other people's point of view on it.
Oh, I had lots of phone calls here.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that it gets to this stage, but that's the way it is. Okay, I just want to
Maybe
mention.
make something out of it. That's all I'm saying is, maybe it could become an event,
charge.
Maybe we could charge them.
You stand up there.
I know, I'll be the toll taker.
You might make out all right.
You never know.
Under other, I do have one thing, and you folks probably know it, but the Overland Bike event will be on August 24th this year. They expect to be going through Reading between 10 and 2. I think most of you know what that is. It's a bicycle race. When I say bike, I don't mean motorcycles and stuff like that. It's a bicycle race. And actually, Sunday, I ran into people that were practicing for the event. They were at the food shelf, and when I was on Kittredge Pasture Road, 4 of them came down by me, and they were actually, I think, riding the entire trail.
Nice.
So,
There's a lot more on our road.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was an actual event going on, but there was just
yeah,
training.
it was a small group, but
Yeah.
there was a group of them out and about. So that's August 24th, starts at 9 o'clock in Brownsville, expected to be in Reading around 10. Some of the faster riders will be here around 10, some of the other ones will be here around 2.
Stragglers.
And I have nothing else under other ladies and gentlemen on the board.
No, not tonight.
I have nothing.
Anyone else?
Other? Let's accept a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, thank you for coming, folks.